Hey everyone, it's Skippy. Today, we're going to go over this week's updates for Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life. There are some really great character introductions in this one, so let's get started. On December 5th, we were given another photo from the gallery. Now, they released all of these last week on the website to view all 5 of them, but it appears they'll be showcasing each one too in their own posts. So yes, we saw this in my last video, if you were here to check that one out, and we've seen a very similar shot in the trailers. In this photo, it's springtime just south from Vesta's farm, and across the bridge from our own. You can see the waterfall by the dig site on the right too. But upon closer inspection, since viewing it a second time myself, I've come to realize something very, very important. The angle of this photo isn't at eye level of what I assume our character is to be at. So that could mean 2 things. 1, we could actually manipulate the camera on a y-axis or up and down, which means we can get very intricate shots like in real life. This gives every player a wider range of possibilities for saving their story in the photo album. Now, if this isn't the case, then at the very least, it means that this position might be uphill from where our character is standing, which just shows how much depth the landscape has for us to stand in different positions to get different angles. On December 6th, we got a character introduction to Daryl, someone who we've been waiting to see, and that's because we haven't had any indication that he was in the game, besides seeing his glowing towers, behind the Bluebird Cafe. It says that he is a slightly unusual scientist, and he seems to be doing difficult research. In this photo of him, we see him talking to us inside his house. He appears to look very stressed, but that's not saying much considering he's always had that look to him. I remember he was one of the only villagers that enjoyed receiving a raw fish or weeds for his science-related things. And here in this last image, he's talking to Muku Muku, and we're sort of just standing there, maybe interrupting them. Muku Muku is huge, and I don't know what's happening here, but I love it. Also to note that it's obviously autumn, and this is at the back of the valley, indicated by the glowing plants above our heads. But something noticeable is that it's glowing orange or yellow, which means it changes with the season, which I think is really cool, and I don't remember if it did that last time. On December 7th, we got another introduction to farm life, and it says, let's enhance farming facilities. If you have enough money from farm life, let's order farming facilities. Your farm life should be even more convenient. Okay, so a lot of us have been excited to see how these different types of equipment are going to work this time around in the game. From this picture, it looks like our character is at a composter, and I believe this is what it is because he's holding what looks like a plate of failed food by creating a terrible recipe, which is what 99% of my food looked like when I played Another Wonderful Life. Just a pile of muck. I don't remember if we had something like this before, so if you do, please tell us. I think this tool will be really useful, and I'm curious as to what we get from this machine. My guess is we get fertilizer for better quality crops, so I guess if you mess up a recipe, it's not a complete waste. In this second image, we're next to our crop field with a mysterious looking machine. I want to assume this is a sprinkler, but I've honestly no clue. If any of you can translate this and figure out what it is, or if you already know, please comment down below. In this last image, it appears we're using this machine, based on this top tab up here, for what it looks like. And we have our backpack on the left, and the machine's content on the right. I don't know what this does, but it looks like it's near our house, based off what I assume to be our shed on the far left. On December 8th, we got a character introduction to Carter. It says that he is an archaeologist who lives in a tent. He came to Forgotten Valley for excavation. Alright, so I'm super excited to get introduced to him. We already knew he was here from the trailers, so I'm happy to finally get to see him. I suspect next week we'll have a look at Flora, his assistant. I know a lot of you love her, so when she does get posted, I will post her under my community section that day, so take a moment to subscribe so you don't miss out. In this second image, we're talking to him by the dig site. He always has that angry sort of look to him, so I'm glad they kept that this time around. His outfit is pretty much spot on, besides his glasses. He doesn't have that little chain or string connected to them, so that it rests around his neck if he takes them off. It's an odd change not to include that, but one nonetheless. I saw this post on the Harvest Moon Reddit thread that said Carter better do his sun salutations in the remake, and I definitely agree. In this last image, he is talking to Griffin at the Bluebird Cafe. I assume this is a cutscene given that we're receiving dialogue, but we're nowhere to be found, so I'm assuming we're observing it. I'm pretty excited for this, and I know I never touched on this before, but I love the little decorations inside, and I can almost hear the music just thinking about it. Enjoy this piece of nostalgia. I assume we'll be getting the same music in the remake too, and stick around to the end of the video for the nighttime version. On December 9th, we got another photo from the gallery. This one is showcasing what I believe to be our water refilling place on the farm since it's right next to a plot of dirt. As I said before, I love this design and I think it's really cute. This picture doesn't give us any cool angles, but I would like to imagine this means we have a pretty good zoom in feature with the camera. I'm kind of enjoying going over these again and getting a better deep dive of the camera functions. What do you think? Alright, so if you've been here before, you know it's time for our weekly poll results. Last Sunday, I asked on my poll under the community section of my channel, which festival are you most looking forward to in Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life? Now, I'm going to do things a little different this time, going from 4th to 1st place, and I've also hidden the results beforehand to make it a bit more exciting with the reveal. In 4th place, we have the New Year's Festival in spring at 9%. This does not surprise me, because we've had the New Year's Festival before in the original game. It happens 1st of spring at Romana's mansion, and it's a good time to see how everyone's grown over the last year or time jump since then, because the kids changed the most noticeable. However, the adults do gray over time too. Coming in for 3rd place is the Fireworks Festival in summer at 13%. I'm sort of surprised at this results because it's a cute event to watch, but it's not an event that is typically exciting. You kind of just go there, look at the fireworks, and then you go home, I'm assuming. Maybe it'll have something interesting to go with it. In 2nd place, we have the Potluck Festival in autumn at 25%. Okay, so we all love food events, especially when we get to participate. I would like to assume that after this event, your character will benefit from the good hearty food that you eat there and you'll feel full, which does help you in the game. I also hope we get to contribute to the festival as well by putting in a crop. And in 1st place, we have the Starry Night Festival in winter with 54%. Okay, so I really didn't expect one particular event to win in a landslide, but it did. This is the last major festival of the year, from what I assume, and in the description of it, it says it's a romantic night, so I hope we get a cute cutscene with your date for this festival. I think it will all tie in together the end of the 1st year as well too, since your secondary goal besides farming is to find someone to romance to move on to the 2nd chapter, so I think it'll be really fun to see. This would have been my choice as well, that or the potluck, if I got to vote, which I don't, but that's okay. If you'd like to vote in my poll, I post a new one every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time. I don't collect the results until the next Saturday evening, so you have all week to vote. Subscribe and get notified when it goes live. And as always, thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more updates from me. Check out my other Story of Seasons content here, or check out my Stardew Valley content. See you in the next one.